The Mini has just gone all maxi with this, the new Clubman. In fact, it's the longest and widest Mini ever made.
And for some people, that will be a very good thing because you get that lovely Mini style, but it's now as easy to live with as a normal, much more boring family hatchback. Well, that's the theory, but let's just see. Now, the first thing you notice is that you have two proper rear doors. On the old Clubman, you just had one rear door and it was small and it opened backwards and it was rubbish. This one, proper rear door, opens nice and wide. There's two of them, and that makes it easy for if you're messing around trying to fit a baby seat, and you actually have easy access ISOFIX fittings down here. And when you sit back here, you think, am I actually in a Mini? Because it feels pretty spacious. So look at that, I've got loads of knee room, and as long as the person in front of you hasn't slammed their seat all the way down to the floor, you can fit your feet underneath and really stretch out. Now this middle seat, it's a little bit of a perch, and it's raised up and it's slightly narrow, so it's not great, but it does let me illustrate something that if I sit on it and sit up dead straight, I've still got plenty of headroom. So there's loads of room in the back of this Mini, for a Mini anyway. And can you carry three people in the back? Well, if I just get the help of my cameraman, just wait for him to come around from behind the camera. Here we go, Ed. Right, meet Ed, everyone. So if you sit into position, mate, move a little bit there. Yeah, what do you think?
It's not too bad.
Not too bad. Surprising for a Mini.
Not on a long journey, but on a short one, yeah, I'm quite comfortable.
It's not a long journey with me in the back of a car because it can get a bit whiffy.
And if you're wondering about cubby spaces, well, they are pretty much a match for any decent normal family car.
Now the Clubman's boot is about 25% bigger than before. To be honest, it's nowhere near that of a normal estate car, but that isn't how you should view the Clubman. You should see it as more of a rival to a traditional family hatchback. And then it's kind of there or thereabouts. So there's some features I like about this boot. So this parcel shelf is easy to remove. If only there was somewhere in the car to store it, like under the floor. But other than that, the space is very usable. There's very little load lip, so it's easy to lift items out. And that underfloor storage I mentioned here, there is quite a lot of it. And you can even remove, well, you can put that up there if you want to. I don't know why you would, but you can. Or you can remove it entirely. If you need to carry longer items, you can fold down the seats. There we go, I can do this one individually actually. Let me just do it, come on. There, and there. And you get a completely flat low bed. And the overall volume, yeah, once again, nowhere near an estate car, but it's kind of there or thereabouts to a traditional family hatchback.
Up front, there's nothing normal about this car though. It has all the style, quality and desirability you'd expect from a Mini. And then some. Plus you can personalise it with a range of colours and lighting.
As standard, the Mini Clubman comes with satellite navigation, and the infotainment system is essentially the same as that you find in more expensive, larger BMWs, only with a mini slant to it, so you've got some kooky graphics. You control it with a swivel wheel and touchpad, and it's all very easy to use, one of the best systems on the market. This particular car has the upgraded system with the wider screen and traffic management for the satellite navigation.
The Clubman is available with all but the least powerful engines from the Mini range, and this mid-level Cooper D offers the best blend of performance, price and economy.
Mini says this engine will do 68 miles per gallon, but a quick look at the old trick computer reveals that, oh dear, yes, I'm averaging just 50 miles per gallon, which really isn't too bad, considering this is a car which, as motoring journalists like to say, encourages you to drive enthusiastically, which basically means it makes you want to have some fun in it, and fun will cost you more in terms of fuel. But you know, you wouldn't forgive this car because it's got so much character. Typical Mini in the way that all the controls have a positive feel, and it just grips the road and goes exactly where you point it. The trade-off is though that, well, as with every big character, it's ever so slightly flawed. So at high speed there's a lot of road and wind noise, and the trade-off for that darty handling is the fact that the suspension is rather firm and you do bump about all over the place. Now the Clubman's not as bad as the normal Mini hatch because its long wheelbase means that it does soak up bumps better than the smaller car, but yeah, compared to a normal family car, the ride's a little bit harsh.
You can improve the comfort somewhat with the optional adjustable suspension, which you should absolutely do. But then that brings us on to another typical Mini problem, the cost of the options.
So the base price of this car, this Cooper D, is just under £22,000. Then you add a few things like leather, that'd be nice. You've got to, of course, have the Chili Pack, which adds some extra styling features, but that's an extra almost £3,000, and some other bits and pieces. And the end price of this particular car here is £30,000, and that's Golf GTD money, and yeah, it's a bit expensive for a Mini. And there's some things about this, it's a little bit form over function. Now, you can get it with this, wave your foot under the tailgate and the doors will open, there we go, and never use that in reality, never, never. Come on, see, and it doesn't work half the time. It's just random. Anyway, another problem I find with these doors is that they open quite wide, so if someone parks quite close to you, you're not going to be able to get into your boot. And there's another problem with these split opening doors. They create a massive blind spot out the back, and it's a bit like when you look in your rear view mirror that you're looking out of a gas mask. Still, for a Mini, this is still a surprisingly practical car, and because it's so super desirable, you'll get a fair chunk of your cash back when you eventually come to sell it on. But if you want another desirable car which is a little less quirky, you should check out our reviews of the Audi A3 by clicking down here, or the Volvo V40 by clicking down there. Click up there for our very latest video review, and please click on our logo to subscribe to our channel. If you're watching on mobile, click the links below the video, as they do exactly the same thing. Now, Minis are all about gimmicks, and while I've got you here, I may as well show you this, look. So, if I press the lock button, you get a little LED flashing there on the shark fin aerial. The idea is that that lets you identify the car in a crowded car park. Yes, well, the Mini is quite low, so you're not going to see that over taller vehicles, and anyway, you're not going to see that flashing away unless it's night time. Pointless.